And thank you. Now, today, the most widespread issue was flooding on residential streets and freeways.
And it was tough to drive in. The worst sound. A viewer sent us this from Ventura. You can see a white car stopped on the 101 facing the wrong way. Other drivers struggling to slam on their brakes.
But of course, tonight the focus is on those recent burn scar areas with more rain in the days ahead. Our Tracey Leong joins us live now from Altadena with what we're seeing there. Tracey.
Yeah, Jonathan and Kathy, you can see this crushed car right behind me here in Altadena after a tree fell on it around 11:30 this morning. You can see the tow truck. They just arrived actually to switch out these cars to tow this away because clearly it is not drivable. Now, fortunately, Jonathan and Kathy, no one was inside this car when that tree came falling on it. But, you know, this just gives you an idea, an example of how much rain we've seen, enough to loosen the soil and bring down a massive tree. You still see the trunk and the roots just sticking up, and you can see where the concrete, the sidewalk buckled under it with all that force. A giant oak tree came crashing down onto a parked car on Meadowbrook Road near Allen Avenue in Altadena Saturday, where the saturated ground could no longer anchor this massive tree.
We just heard an unnatural noise, like just a big bang.
Jim Germanic, who's visiting Altadena for work, was shocked when he realized the tree had fallen on top of his rental car.
And I walked out, I was like, oh my God. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it because it wasn't raining that hard here at that time. It wasn't raining that hard. So God knows what caused, you know, this giant 150-year-old oak tree to fall down.
Neighbors were saddened to see the oak tree topple over because it had helped shield homes during the Eaton fire.
These trees eat embers for breakfast, and they protected a lot of homes while that fire was going through. Unfortunately, when they're planted inside these planters, right in between the sidewalk and the street, they tend to fall whenever we get strong winds or heavy rain like this that made the tree lopsided. Well, it's because all of the infrastructure that we've built is mending how the tree's roots are growing. So the tree's not going to invest any roots underneath the street. So it's going to put all those roots underneath people's yards, and that creates the whole tree lopsided.
In South Pasadena, the heavy rain caused sinkholes along Edgewood Drive.
And then I couldn't drive forward, and I couldn't drive backwards, and so I got out of the car and realized that the rear of my car was in a big sinkhole, and my wheels were 6 inches below the level of the street. So I was stuck.
The gaping holes made the road undrivable, prompting officials to close it for repairs. In Malibu, the persistent rain meant fewer visitors to the Palisades burn scar area. The intersection of Las Flores Canyon Road and PCH is an area prone to flooding and mudslides. Duke's Restaurant is located at the base of the canyon and is still closed after a mudslide caused significant damage in February. Businesses along PCH say it was surprisingly quiet during the storm.
It's been a slow day in Malibu. I think people have kind of heeded the warnings that it's going to be very wet and kind of dangerous and potentially, with some debris and mud flows and that kind of thing. And so people have kind of stayed away today.
Officials are warning people to stay alert because the ground is heavily saturated, so it could still trigger mudslides and debris flow, even uproot trees like we saw right here tonight. And they're telling people also we are expecting even more rain in the coming days, so don't get comfortable right now. Even though the rain has slowed down just a bit, we've still seen a steady amount of rain throughout the day. It's been pretty consistent, even though it seems a little bit lighter than what we saw during earlier parts. But that's the latest reporting live in Altadena. Tracey Leong, NBC4 News.